Unfortunately, in our business in automotive repair, there are some instances where we total out mechanically our customers' cars. And when we do that, they have to ask themselves if they should fix anything on it before they sell it. We have a fair amount of customers who say they're bringing their car in, they're going to sell it soon, I only want to do the bare minimum. So in this video, I want to cover what that is. Let's get to it. So in this video, we are answering the question of, should I fix my car before I sell it? Basically, this is a question we get a lot, and I feel like some people are approaching both the math of true dollars that you're going to get back when you sell your car versus what you need to invest in it. They're weighing their own ethics in mind, and it's just a practical situation of there's a lot of businesses in the automotive industry that benefit from people selling cars that aren't fixed, and that's totally fine. And so at the end of the day, it comes down to what your priorities are and how you feel about selling a car that needs repairs. And so here's kind of the way I think about advising our customers on whether they should fix a car before they sell it. First, let's talk about the math. If your car is one where the purchase price that you can expect to get when you go to sell your car is going to change by an amount that is greater than or less than the amount that the repair actually costs. And I believe that there are actually quite a high number of repair examples where the cost to perform a repair is worth it because you will get your money back when you go to sell the car. So what are those things? The biggest one is safety items. If there is a critical safety concern with the car that you know about because you took it into a shop right before you were selling it, you're risking a bit of legal exposure in that situation. So obviously the relative value there is you're saving your butt from getting sued over knowingly selling a car with a safety concern that you don't disclose. If you do disclose it, however, you may see and experience such a significant decrease in the value of the car that it is actually worth fixing it. The biggest example of this is issues related to braking and the wheels being connected to the car. And so I've bought cars before where there was one lug nut holding a wheel onto the car. That's a major safety concern. If I saw that as a buyer, I would be very concerned and negotiate a lot of money off the price because I don't know why that is the case and I don't know what that indicates about the rest of the car. However, it may be the only thing that's wrong with the car. And if you're missing 4 lug nuts and it costs you $40 to put them back on, and that's on the high end, really, you could spend $40 and potentially get 10 times your return or more on that purchase because that's such a significant safety concern that is cheaply fixable, but that also increases the value if that concern is not present. Going back to the brake pedal, that's another one where in most cases, brake repair issues are not going to be this insane cost, but the difference in safety value changes dramatically when your brake pedal does not go to the floor. And so it's really valuable to just get those repairs done because you can get and ask a lot more money for your car when you do that. The other key type of repair that I believe actually adds more value than it costs to fix in some cases is actually going to be around noises. I'm talking here about things that are truly perceivable to car buyers. We're talking about major safety concerns that are visible or that are really easy to see on a test drive. And I want to talk about noises because that is something that is super easy to see when you are experiencing a car. You're going to hear these belt screeches or rattles or clunks or whatever the noise is. That's a pretty significant unknown to a buyer that if you can eliminate the noise, that you're probably going to get more money for your car. Now, I admit there's some noises that cost more than it's worth for the degradation of value that you're going to get for that noise continuing to be there. But if you have a reasonable explanation for it, that's still going to help if you can give somebody else a clear picture for what it's going to take to fix it, you should give them that quote. On the contrary, if it is something that you can fix easily, it's a cheap suspension part, it is just a serpentine belt, that kind of stuff is going to benefit you when you go to sell the car because you can add that value back in for that noise not being there. It's a well sorted out car as opposed to, oh man, what's that noise? So that's the second thing, is you really have to be aware that it is what it is with car sales. You can get away with quite a lot of things not being disclosed in the maintenance history of the car. Like if somebody's never experienced a car before, I've bought tons of cars where there were things wrong that I should have noticed, but I didn't notice because I had no known good to compare it to from the past. But there's things like noises, safety issues, where it's really obvious what's wrong with the car and you should get your money out by doing those repairs. The last thing that is worth fixing or considering fixing when you go to sell your car is the interior functions. So again, we're talking about things that are really noticeable when somebody comes to look at your car for sale. Even if it's on trade, by the way, even if you're trading in a car, they're going to appraise it based on a quick little test drive and a quick little walk around to the car. So if they notice major safety concerns, noises, or this last one, these are all things that they're going to take value away when you're making an offer on your car. So this last one is interior functions. Does the power seats work? Do the heated seats work? Does the screen in the middle of the console work? Those are things that actually may not be that expensive to fix, but can very quickly make a deal go south if somebody gets in the car and they can't adjust the seat to their driving position. And yes, I have bought cars where I could not adjust the seat to my driving position. I ended up selling the car because when I finally was able to adjust it, I didn't fit. And so I had to get rid of that car, and that was unfortunate because I always wanted it. I don't fit in 1990s Alfa Romeos, it turns out. But that is the last thing where it really doesn't have to be an expensive part that fixes those interior functions and gets them functional again. Maybe the air conditioning is out, maybe the heat, maybe it's actually something that's right behind the dash that's actually not that hard to get to. Maybe it's something where you just have to pull out a seat and replace a piece of wire underneath the seat in order to get your seat motors working again. These are all things that you can go into a car fixing situation where you'll probably get your money back out of it for doing the simple repair and then asking a little more money or having more confidence in asking big money for your car when you go to sell it. So those are the things that I recommend you focus on when you are thinking about fixing your car before you sell it. Yes, I'm basically saying do the bare minimum because in most cases, your value degradation for you deferring maintenance, for you foregoing repairs of somewhat worn out things, it's not going to be the end of the world, right? But if you make sure that the noises are taken care of, that the interior functions work, and that the vehicle is overall in safe condition, I think you can fairly ask top dollar when you go to sell any pre-owned, probably higher mileage vehicle. But the piece of this that I've left out that I mentioned in the beginning that I would talk about is ethics. If you want to have a clear conscience with your car, whether you decide to fix it or not isn't really the main question. Some people just don't have the economic rationale in their head when they're thinking about this, and they're trying to be so ethical with their car that, frankly, I think it's not worth spending that kind of money. And I'm not saying be sleazy. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying do anything dishonest or bad or lazy or anything like that. By contrast, disclose all of the issues. If you are ruthlessly honest about your car when you go to sell it, you are likely to get more confident buyers. More confident buyers are willing to pay more and negotiate less because they can see that you have already taken everything into account. You are more meticulous about your car that you are selling to them than they potentially are when they go to buy it. And that's all I got for today. So, like I said before, leave a comment below if you have any questions, feedback, opinions on everything we just talked about when it comes to selling your car and whether you should fix things. Make sure you leave a like if you enjoyed the video because it helps us show up higher in the YouTube algorithm. And if you're not subscribed, get subscribed. And that's all I got for today. So see you next week and stay driven.